cannot do that. Give it to me. No, give it to me. No, give it to me.
Black history, bro.
Give it to me. No. Don't even. No. Put it back. Put it back.
No.
You lived together before marriage.
Hell yes.
We did.
We did.
Hell yes.
I ain't gonna lie, this is a good one.
Yes.
This is a good one.
We did.
And I remember we had that conversation. And it kind of that's Sean the one who kind of like changed my mind a little bit because he was like, "Bruh, how you gonna know what she like?" Like shit, nigga, you on to something.
Bruh, if you don't fucking know, bro, you don't get.
You know,
no, that
you know what's real though? My old girl said that she was like, cause I told her like, man, I like mom, me and Sadiri got a problem. Oh, for real? She like, shit.
Get the fuck out.
Hey, what's my room in the house now? It's like a guest room.
That nigga, she got kicked out, changed the room, and don't come back.
She done brought a whole new mattress. And then the other room, his sister's room, she done turned it into a TV room.
Gangsta.
Yeah.
That's her house.
That's her house.
This my house.
And every time John go
Yeah, you
in
was
there,
down when she
Yeah, bro, I was sitting there like.
and John go in there, he go, I'm going to my room. She's like, my room?
She like, my room.
You ain't got no room.
You got no room in here, nigga.
Nah, but like,
I don't have that issue when I
love that
Mama
cause
was like,
like,
this is your room whenever you want to come home.
yeah, but I love that because like my mom realized like what generation this is now, what day and age it is.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't like the old days, like well, you gotta be married and then move in. Like, you rather move in with someone to know their tendencies.
I think it depends on who you are too.
That's true too. That's
Because
true.
not everybody sees it the way that we do.
But like people have like different beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
All types of
to.
stuff.
Me and John moved in because we wanted to spend more time together, and it was impossible to do that in my house. My mom would call me. Chevelle is living proof of it. My mom calls me at 12 o'clock at night. Where are you? When are you coming home? I am 22 years old. Where are you? Where are you? Got my own job, my own car, do all my own things.
Yeah.
Where are you? What time are you coming home?
Damn.
Yeah.
My mom was not that, and her mentality was
You in my
her.
Hey, I was younger though, bro.
It wasn't even that. It was your dad
Yeah, but
doesn't come home past 12 o'clock.
22, my mom was like, what
So
up?
why would you, as his daughter, come home past 12 o'clock? That was her mentality. And at the time, I was like, because daddy, he don't listen. But then I understood why. Because that's my dad's house. I didn't have anything in it. Yes, when they died, God forbid, I would. I get the house. Me and my siblings get the house. But at the end of the day, that's his house. He's still paying the rent. He's still paying the money on it. Like, I can't disrespect him like that by coming home at 4 o'clock in the morning. And he doesn't even do that. Yeah, we need to get a bookcase.
Shit.
The bookcase we have, bro.
So you feel like if you don't, like, let's say you pay rent, right? You pay your share.
I paid
I can
rent.
do whatever the fuck
That's how I feel.
I want.
That's how I feel.
I
If I
paid
pay more
rent, and
rent-
I still didn't do whatever the fuck I want.
But you should, even if you're paying rent, if you're living in someone's house, you should be respectful of their house.
Yeah, that's my dad. At the end of the day,
Okay,
those are my
that's
parents, and that was what they asked me to do, not to
I ain't
come
gonna
home
lie.
after a
Me and
certain
you gonna
time.
look at it different. Our parents wasn't.
Nigga, clearly I'm gonna look at it like this. I'm paying for this shit. This mine. You ain't.
But I'm saying I can see why they would look at it like that. I'm not gonna say you don't have respect for your parents.
Also,
It's not the bad. It's like the wrong thing to say, but it's kind of like my nigga, you ain't get what?
Also, my dad
No,
said there
you
was
ain't got no
nothing.
right to tell me
If
when
you
to
as a
fucking
woman are outside past 12, that means that there's
you
nothing.
are.
It's a
There's nothing good for a woman
My parents
outside
used to
of
tell me
12.
3 o'clock is the devil's hour.
But with they boys though, with they boys, it's
No,
not the
even
same
with
thing.
my brother.
Yeah,
With my
my old girl
brother,
like that too,
yeah,
like 2,
my
3,
brother was the
something.
same
Not
way.
that big. But the boys, they could come back.
And mind you, my brother didn't
be worried about
live
girls.
with my parents. My brother lived in New York, and my dad, when my brother was going to college, my brother would call my dad and be like, "Hey," and my dad would be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm going out." He's like, "Well, don't go out too late because you know there ain't nothing good out there past a certain time." But that's a different upbringing. That's a different thing. And when me and John moved out, my mom flipped the fuck out. She was like, "I am not paying for your wedding. I don't understand why you're gonna be moving out with this guy." I was like, "Well, if I would have moved
mom
out
said the same.
by myself, would it have been different? Like if I moved out by myself, I had my own apartment, it would have been different."
Oh, yeah, my dad, if I did that, if me and Carl were to do that, my dad was not talking to me. Like, my dad would be furious, and my mom would probably say the same thing, that she's not paying for the wedding.
But then to her, now she looks stupid because me and John are married.
Y'all getting help on the wedding?
Of course.
Shit.
I'm the only girl.
Boy, I can't get that, boy.
Your situation, that shit
Shit,
different, boy.
boy.
But that's different.
Yo, your shit different.
I don't think that I've never seen. It's always been that the bride's
Yes.
parents.
It
pay
is the
for
bride,
it.
but nowadays it's more
Not
half and
yet.
half.
half and half.
Wait, what we been talking about the whole day? Double fucking standards.
Technically, this supposed to be the bride, but
It is, yeah.
nowadays it's more half and half.
Nowadays,
Yes, half and half.
the tradition is changing where
It's
it's like
changing.
you're paying it half and half.
It's funny
But
how it
then
changed when it's in a woman's fucking favor.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all ain't never gonna get Jamila.
I don't understand what the issue is.
Because no, but he's looking at it like, goddamn, the one thing we had, y'all taking it away. He's looking at it like the one thing the niggas had, y'all taking it.
Oh,
That's how he's
be
looking.
careful.
But I don't think that's.
That's funny.
I don't think that that's us taking it away. I think that nowadays.
I know how you thinking on that.
God damn, bro. Like, help.
That's why when you used to
That's
be
why
like,
you
when
pay
you used to
half
be
and
like,
half. Are you
I want
building
this one, I want
together,
that one.
or is
I bought. Hold on.
Like,
I bought me and John's wedding
I
rings.
can tell you that I don't want.
She did.
That's you.
But no, that's not me. That's a lot of women nowadays are doing that because you spend money on my engagement ring, so I'm gonna spend money on the rings. Like my friend did that with her husband. Her and her husband went half and half on the
I
wedding.
think that's a good idea.
Some people are stuck on tradition.
Well, then those
And
are
the
some
man
people.
should do this.
No, but
And the man should do all of that.
Like
And
my
the man should
brother, because my sister-in-law, she was still in school, so like she wasn't like working yet as a pharmacist, and my brother paid for the wedding, and that's called that shit was
And that's
nice, and it
fine.
had 250 people.
But that's an understanding.
you know, and then
Yeah.
She
my
blind to be in
parents,
school and she gonna get a nice lucrative
my
job.
parents offered. My parents offered to pay, and you know, like,
look, I want to handle it.
and he said he wanted to handle it,
That's
yeah.
fine.
And then my parents
I
paid
get you.
for.
But what he's saying is the question not even gonna come up.
Okay.
Like it is what it is. That nigga's paying for it. What he's saying, like you got a choice. Like damn, I want to go to Dubai.
I'm a
So I'll
little
let you
confused.
pay for it.
And all the weddings I've ever been to or have ever heard of, it's been a discussion of like, hey, because I know a lot of
Help a
women.
nigga out, bro. Fuck.
Honestly, on
I've
the real
learned
though,
a lot of women, like a lot of my teacher friends who are getting married. Like I have a friend right now who's getting married, and her fiance are going half and half on the wedding. She's paying for half, he's paying for half.
I ain't gonna lie, boy.
And then I've seen the other
You
extreme.
real MVP, bro.
well, it's what I want. We got married first at the courthouse, but I
They
wanted
had
the
a
wedding.
ceremony.
So-
She paid for the ceremony.
but let me ask you a
Wait,
question.
yeah, like you.
Let me ask you a question. No. Let me,
John, how many times did I tell you let's get married?
I know that. No. I'm not talking about
I
that.
feel,
What do you mean?
I'm talking about.
because you didn't approach it as like
I need
I
to
want
have.
this. The man gotta give it to me. You approach it as I want
wait,
it.
But that's not.
No, but what I'm saying, when
But
he
that's
said
never
he
been.
ain't-
I don't think
got
that.
that option.
Yeah.
Oh,
The shit
then that's on
going
you.
I have.
That's on you
I have a
because
question,
I
though.
know a lot of
I ain't
women
gonna
when
lie,
it
I gotta
comes
see
to
'em.
when it comes to
I
no.
think it's a great idea.
I've heard no. It's not even that.
fantastic idea.
It's not even that. I've heard a lot.
I
I've
want you to
seen.
spend your whole dime on this wedding.
It's not even that. I've never seen a groom pay for a wedding though.
I be like, my God.
Wait, maybe like.
I'm sorry.
No,
This
no,
is
wait.
your wedding, your colors, your cake,
Yeah.
your everything. You
I have never
You're the
seen.
man.
If
You're
I
the
was
man,
on
you
it,
should
but I
be
don't
able
give
to
a fuck.
provide everything.
But I have never. Here's the situation.
No, but I'm gonna
I
wait for her to ask me for the fuck.
Wait, but listen.
have never
That's the respect
seen.
that niggas got.
I have never seen. I have never seen in marriages where a groom has ever paid for. Like all the people I've known have their parents have paid
That's
for
the
it.
traditional way.
That's the tradition.
The
The
parents
woman,
of the bride took the pay for that.
or nowadays I'm seeing it where
It's funny how that worked though.
Nowadays-
But then they complain about moving in and shit before marriage. The fuck?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like,
It's stupid.
It's funny how that works, bro.
if you're not giving in to the wedding, you can't complain. That's what
Hell,
me and
nothing.
Help.
What say do you have?
Help a nigga, bro.
that's what me and John had to go through.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
feel
had
that.
to. My mom was like, "You moved out. I'm not helping you." Okay, so then you don't have an opinion on the wedding. Like you can't put no opinion. The only person who had an opinion on our wedding or had an idea of what was going to happen at our wedding was his mom.
Yeah.
Because his mom put money in.
I told y'all that I like, bro. My mom helped me with the shoe.
My dad last minute.
But he like laid back though.
But guess what my dad told us? He's like, I'm willing to give you what you would spend on a wedding to go towards your house. So I was like, cool.
I was
highly understandable.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, cool.
That's
the rest, me and John are gonna pay for it ourselves.
Bro, that's why I said the old boy. Hey, I feel you, bro. I like, bro.
My dad literally, to this day, my dad the other day was like, look, I have a realtor who works in Hollandale.
His part.
Yeah.
And he's even helping us look for houses now. Like, that's my dad's, like, that's always been, my dad has never said, I'm going to pay for your wedding. Even from my older sister, he never did it. Because he doesn't understand. And then, until our wedding, it wasn't. I kept telling John. I was like, John.
You got good people.
I was like, John. I don't care if we go to the courthouse and it's just you and me getting married. At the end of the day, a wedding is gonna be a one-day thing that we're gonna have pictures.
Exactly.
This marriage is forever. It don't matter if we spend. Listen, I've heard of people who spend. What is it? I've heard people who spend $50 million on a wedding and their marriages last 6 months. It don't matter how much you spend on a wedding. If your relationship is not correct, your marriage isn't gonna last.
Exactly. That's why I would not want my man to spend all that money and then the next day, I don't know how the rent gonna come out, how this gonna come out.
House, bro.
No.
But like, let me not
You gotta be
But also,
it's different though.
I appreciate John because I was that person. I was like,
was that person.
let's just go to the courthouse. I don't give a shit. But John knew how important it was for me. He knew. Yeah, but here's the thing. To me, John knew how important it was for me to get married through the church because my parents got married through the Catholic Church, and for me, I didn't care if we went to my house for the reception. I didn't give a shit. I just wanted the church. That's all. I said all I want is 3 things. I want my dress to be really nice. I want to get married at the church. And I want to dance the whole fucking night. That's it.
Shit, I was dancing the whole night.
I was like, hey!
Ain't that right?
I didn't care.
I was lit as fuck.
He was gone.
He was gone. I didn't care
There was
where.
a lot of drunk people at your
Nigga.
That bartender was an
When they
asshole.
tried that back that ass up,
Oh,
God.
That nigga said, "Oh shit!"
He ran back.
I was going to get another drink.
I still got footage of all the days.
Did y'all pick a question yet?
Too much.
They got married already. I was at their wedding. We was at their wedding.
They said,
No,
did you pick
the
a
question.
question? What was the question in the first place?
About moving out.
Oh, living together. Yeah, I think living together is important.
All right, y'all pick a question and Richie.
I thought Chevelle was the last one. I don't know.
I thought she picked one of them.
Tiffany picked one.
All right, so just Chevelle.
Don't be like Jamil.
The two of her.
I'm not gonna cheat. He saw every
A
lot of
question.
questions.
You can tell me which one to pick.
No, just pick the question.
They sexually.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? You want some
Y'all
decent.
want
No, what is it? Let me see.
Sexual.
Let me see. What was the question?
We already answered that.
What is it? Can family and friends ruin relationships?
All right.
Yeah, we
What's
did.
the next question?
I need something.
What's the difference between single and relationship? This is dumb. No. Can we get
Like,
another?
what is the difference?
Y'all know the difference?
Yeah,
Single, you ain't got no better. That shit, you got somebody.
Pick one.
Okay. No. Who wrote these questions?
I don't know.
Pick
Is sex truly the most important thing?
No, bro.
Next. That's boring.
Thank you, bro.
Ain't me.
Does
man.
money affect how you feel?
That's a good question.
Does money affect how you feel?
How you feel about what, though?
About your significant other.
Yeah.
No, money does not affect how I feel.
No. Wait, no, we're not moving on from this.
No,
We're not.
I
Talk about
just answered.
In what tense, though? Like, what tense?
I don't know. Someone sent that to
As
us.
if, as if they don't have money.
Oh,
right?
can I start this off?
Yeah, start it
Sure,
off.
go ahead.
Oh, you said, oh, God.
I said, sure, go ahead.
I feel like it do, It does and it doesn't. It shouldn't affect how you love a person by however, like, cause love don't have nothing to do with money. If you love the person for truly who they are,